Hello, welcome to Trust Me I'm Fat. It's been a while since I've made a video and my boys have been asking for pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. So that's what I'm going to make today. You only need 3 things and no eggs to make this recipe. Super easy. First, I'm making a double batch. So I have 2 boxes of spice cake mix dumped here in this bowl. It's just dry, nothing else. And to that, I'm going to add 1 big can of pumpkin puree. And then we're going to stir this together. Now, I know I have a few other things here on the counter because my husband doesn't really care for the chocolate chips in it. So I add raisins to some of it for his. And if you wanted, you could add nuts. You could add raisins, nuts, and chocolate chips to it. You can do whatever you want. But the basic things are these. See, now when you first start stirring it, you're going to think to yourself, yeah, that's not going to work. But trust me, it will. You just keep stirring it. Stir it real quick, and I'll show you when it's combined. Okay, so I've got it mixed together. See, look how good that comes together. See? Nice and moist. Really good. So I'm going to take some of this and put in another bowl. So I can make some with raisins for Kendall. And I'll leave most of it here in the bowl with chocolate chips for the boys because they love them. Even Alec has been asking for these. So there we go. So now we're going to add our chocolate chips. I add a whole bag. Now, if you're making a half a batch, which is a regular sized batch, you just use 1 cake mix. You can use spice cake or carrot cake. Use the small can of pumpkin pie filling or puree, and then add some chocolate chips. Add as many as you want. I'm adding the whole bag. I only have these fancy ones because they were on sale for cheaper than the store brand. So that's why we have Ghirardelli today. Otherwise, they'd be great value, or Food Club, or Signature brand, you know, depending on the store I'm at. And you just mix them in. There you go. That batter is ready for the chocolate chip ones. Now I'm going to do some raisins for Kendall. I think pecans would be really good in it, but I'm not going to put any pecans into it. Well, maybe I'll surprise him and put a few pecans. No, I won't. We're going to do just raisins. We're just going to make them regular. We're not going to add extra things too much. And then just kind of eyeball it. Just, oh, that looks pretty good. That's probably a half a cup-ish or so. And we're just going to stir those together. Done. That came together. Now, get your cookie sheets. We're going to put some parchment paper on here because I don't want to scrape them off the pan. And I just drop them by the spoon, by the spoonful. You don't want them to be too big. Like that. This is just one of those big spoons that comes in your set of utensils. I don't know what they call it, tablespoon. We call it the vegetable spoon because you scoop the corn with it. I think I have enough in here to make Kendall a dozen. And then I'll make my boys however many that is. I've preheated my oven to 375. And we're going to let these cook for about 12 to 15 minutes and check them, and I'll show you when they're done. Okay, I've got my first batch of the raisin ones are done. And these are the first chocolate chip ones to come out. I've got the other pan in the oven. And I need to make a revision on the cook time. Actually, more like 16, 18 minutes to cook. You want them to be, excuse me, you want them to be firmed up. They're not smushy or gushy, but they're still soft. They're not dried out because they don't really turn like a brown color because they're already brown. So I let them cool on the pan for just a little bit, and then I'll move them to this cooling rack and we will taste them. Let's give these a taste. Let's see how we did. Which one has the most chocolate chips? That's the one I always pick. That one looks pretty good. Let's see how they look inside. Perfectly cooked. Here, I'll come closer so you can see. See? Perfectly cooked. And this was after 18 minutes in the oven. I think they're going to taste really, really good. They're still pretty warm. So very good. So if you try these and you make them, comment down below what you added to them. You could add chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, those little, the little Butterfingers things that you can buy at the store that are the bits. You could put that. I think the Heath toffee bits would be so good in these. You could add raisins, which is what my husband likes. You could add craisins if you were really getting into like the fall Thanksgiving-y kind of vibe. You could add those. That might be really good. I haven't tried that. You could add nuts. You could add whatever you want to this recipe. It's super easy. Anybody can make this, and you don't need any eggs. So it's perfect. Let's look at the inside of these ones. Oh, it turned out perfect. I think when Kendall gets home, he's going to be super excited. Look at that. Yep. And his cooked for 18 minutes. See, and they're about this big. They're not very big. They're just the right size. So let me know what you put in yours. And I hope you have a great day. Bye. Ooh, that's going to be a good one. That was all chocolate.